lights were the colors of the rainbow for a gay pride parade. Well, I'm like, what would happen if they had a bag of Doritos for straight pride? I mean, think about the people that would go off the hook about that.
Oh, exactly.
You know,
you can't celebrate straight pride.
No. Like, I mean, and why? Why?
I don't know.
Why is that so wrong?
You know, I don't feel like, personally for me, it's necessary to, but why can't you? If one side can do it, why can't you?
It's just like being a white American male. Why can't I be proud of that? It doesn't mean that I'm a racist. It doesn't mean I think other races are less than I. But why can't I have pride in that?
No, and here's a question. You know, let's just take San Francisco, okay?
Oh shit! No pun intended.
Right. Take San Francisco. People tend to segregate them in that town. You know, you got.
I think people do as a whole.
Well, it happens. It's everywhere. But the problem is, one side wants to call the others racist, but everybody's segregating themselves.
Well, here we've spoken on the show before. My mother and her side of the family are Hispanic. Now, you get around that side of the family, those people are very proud of their heritage, and more power to them. They should be. But if you had a family that was that proud of being white, they would be labeled as being white supremacists.
Well, then, you know, years down the road, they would change the name of the theater that the guy gave the money to build.
Yeah.
From Brady Theater to Tulsa Theater because, well, he happened to be with a racist group, a white supremacist group. Well, we harped on this on the podcast before. Why? What's it changing other than just pissing everybody off?
Well, last time we talked about this and we quit recording, I had a thought on the way home. So all these people that were supporting them changing that to the theater and blah, 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 Mr. Brady's a horrible man, blah, blah. How many of their ancestors were part of that whole thing too? You know, like, I mean, he wasn't that out of the norm for that time. Does it make it right? No. Does it make it, you know, does that justify his beliefs about race? No. But I guarantee some of the people that are out having that petition signed, I bet they had great aunts and uncles and grandfathers that were at the meetings right alongside Mr. Brady. They don't want to talk about that.
No, and nor are they going to change their name.
No.
You know, your name is David Craig Allen. Well, no, it can't be that anymore. I'm going to call you Michael.
Mr. Reconciliation?
Yeah, Michael Fix-It Reconciliation.
Yeah.
Reconciliation hyphen Kroger.
Yes, we like the sound of that.
Yeah, because we love Kroger. We don't have one here in Oklahoma, but we get to hear about Kroger all the time.
Oh, on a daily basis almost.
Daily basis from our friend Party Foul Johnny, who's also known as Johnny Simonetti or Simonetti. It doesn't matter because he's always ready on the Toddcast.
He got invited to co-host another podcast.
Yeah, I think it's
the guy's on fire in the podcast world, man.
He is, man. This, let me tell you something. You talk about somebody who's able to do more with less. This guy's a podcast on his phone.
On his phone, man.
On his phone. We have a studio.
A producer
with, I'm not kidding you, probably $30,000 in audio equipment.
Johnny's got a basement and an iPhone.
And Johnny Simo, he's just podcasting from his phone, man.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I have a it won't be a vlog, but I have an idea that I've slowly been composing for the YouTube channel that's going to be titled Creating on the Cheap. And because I get a lot of people that contact me wanting, like, how much money do you guys get to throw at this? You know, we actually, other than the podcast, we went pretty top of the line for the podcast. But as far as our video and all that stuff goes, like, we're into DIY stuff. We find ways to get around problems. We probably have hardware that's maybe not as nice as people, but we make it happen. Johnny takes that to a whole nother level, man. And I mean, props to the dude, man. I love it.
The only thing he does not have is a flip phone.
That would be really impressive.
You know, that's the only way it could get any more is if it were a flip phone. Love you to death, Johnny.
Or if he's sending Morse code out on one of those things you tap on.
Exactly, right? Man,
I love it though, man. I love that, like, because when Johnny, before he really started getting tight with us, and I knew Johnny for a year or two before you kind of came in the mix. He wasn't a podcasting dude.
No.
And then he got into the Titty and Shiner show, and that kind of exploded into some hunting podcasts, and that exploded into this. And he gets on the Toddcast with Todd Orndorff, which is a great show. You guys, if you guys are wanting to kill some time, get on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, look up the Toddcast with Todd Orndorff.
Toddcast.
And Johnny Simonetti as his co-host. They have an incredible show, man. It is nothing but entertainment every episode. Shameless plug for those guys.
And they're a lot like us. You know, they talk about just about everything.
Yeah.
We dive a little more deep into the political realm than they do.
Which that's not their bag, and that's cool. I mean,
and that's fine. But if you want to talk about painting guitars or I don't know,
Todd told a great story about getting lost in the woods.
Kroger.
Yeah, Kroger.
or Pawpaw on Friday nights. That's a fun one there.
That's how solid Johnny's father-in-law. God, Pawpaw's got it. He's at least in his late 80s.
I don't know.
Every Friday, Johnny takes him down to like a little community center to the dance,
like a VFW hall or something. I don't know what it is, but
Pawpaw gets dressed to the nines. Johnny finds a table to belly up to on the outskirts of the dance floor, and he lets Pawpaw have the time of his life every Friday night, man. And that's a solid son-in-law, man.
When Pawpaw's feeling good, he'll get out there and cut a rug.
Yeah, man. I mean, I have so much respect for Johnny, man, because I just imagine being at that age that Pawpaw is. That's something that you look forward to every week.
Yeah.
So the fact that Johnny makes that happen, man, I got a lot of respect for Johnny.
You know, the only suggestion that I have for Johnny and his wife is when it comes to groceries, it's pretty cool to make a list because you go once and you get what you need, you come back. But Johnny would be like, man, we're out of chapstick. Go to Kroger's.
Well, and it may not be the only trip to Kroger's that day either.
No, not at all. Dreamer wants chicken fried steak fingers. I'm going to Kroger.
But you got to see how Johnny's looking at this, dude, because more times than not, I hope Dreamer probably doesn't listen to the shit show.
No.
But Johnny finds a way to usually stop and get a Johnny bootlegger in his hand.
Yeah.
So who's really winning this?
Shh, don't tell Dreamer. You know, and he might travel to Kroger with a Keystone Light, might come back with a Keystone Light.
May or may not. You never know.
And a sack full of groceries and have to go back to Kroger because he forgot what he was the first time. But you know what? He would not be Party Foul Johnny to do that. And I don't want him any other.
Oh, no, man. I wouldn't change a thing about Johnny,
No.
man. I love that. He is solid as they come, man.
He is solid gold. And the podcasts are good. He really, I went back and listened to the Toddcast with just Todd. He really added something to that podcast.
Oh, he brought a whole nother level to it. And they've gelled as co-hosts together, and they feed off of each other. And yeah, man, that's one of the shows that I really look forward to dropping when out, man. I love to listen.
Yeah, our friends, the Atomic Drop podcast. If you like professional wrestling, those guys are pretty funny. I listen to them just because they can get pretty funny every once in a while, and it's also good too because they're up in their game.
Yeah,
they're getting away from a live broadcast, going to a straight podcast. I like better than a live broadcast anyway. If we're on at 8:00, not everybody can listen to us at 8:00 at night, but if we're on a podcast, you can listen to us anytime.
Now, the Atomic Drop show moved to Spreaker, didn't they?
I think it was Spreaker, either Spreaker or Anchor, but I think it's Spreaker.
Yeah, I think they moved over to Spreaker, which is awesome for them. I mean, I think that's going to really – I can't see how they won't gain a lot of listeners out of that move, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens for them.
Well, he'd asked me, Justin Time asked me, because he got a new board set up, communication with the computer, all to the nines.
Fancy.
Like what we – and – it's been on back and forth helping him set it up, but now that it's set up, his voice is going to sound a little more golden. There's going to be less background sound. It just makes everything a step better. We're lauded for our audio in podcasting. There's a lot of people say I listen to podcasts all over the place, and there's nobody that has audio. Well, not everybody has a podcast studio, the equipment we've got either, and it helps, but you don't have to have that. You can be like Johnny Simon and broadcast from a phone and do it well. But these guys at Atomic Drop, they're up in the game, and rightly so. If your podcast starts getting successful, you do want to make it better. Every time you make it better and you gain more listeners, you've got advertisers now that say, hey, by the way, we'd like to work out a deal with you. Not that they're breaking down our doors or anything, but we are wearing our Dixon flannel.
Oh, matching ones even.
Yeah, matching Dixon flannel. I've got my shovel on.
Yeah, the shovel's a good one, man.
Sporting my orange and black and white. Love this. Thank you, Danny. Making me a killer shirt.
The cheapest sponsored podcast he has under his belt, I guarantee it. I mean,
oh, yeah, no doubt. But we still love him.
Oh, man. Well, and here's the deal, man. And I think we were talking about this before we started recording tonight. Our good buddy across the pond, Beans and Bourbon, he ordered, I think he said the Bravo, and the U.S. Postal Service has lost that in transit to England. Now, this is the second or third time this has happened to the poor guy. So I'm thinking he's got a good case to run at Danny to open up Dixon just launched a Canadian segment of this past week.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they launched that Monday or Tuesday. And I'm thinking now they need to launch a European section of the company. Dude, I was going to tell you about this, man. So speaking of Danny Dixon, he is put some post up.
Danny Dixon or Danny Dreyer?
Danny Dreyer. Him and his wife have purchased some property that has a pretty cool, she termed it as a farmhouse on it.
Yeah.
Which I guess the plan is to level that and build their quote unquote. Now, if you keep up with him online, he lives in a dream home. So I'm thinking whatever they build here is going to be completely mind blowing. But to see somebody that's self-made, that worked in the Harley factory 70 hours a week and launched this incredible company from his garage, if you don't think we live in the greatest country on the face of the planet that people can do this, you pack your shit and go somewhere else.
Dude,
he is a success story beyond success, dude.
I would
totally
live in a flannel house.
A one-of colorway.
Like Dixon curtains. I got my Dixon sofa. My Dixon
I was going to say all
boys.
Your furniture's decked out in different flannels.
Yeah. Check out my carpet. It's Dixon carpet.
Did you see they brought out floor mats?
Yeah.
Yeah. And why one of those is not in the studio, I do not know.
Yeah, we're going to have to get one.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to get one. We'd certainly like to try it out. Hint, hint.
Nudge, nudge.
Exactly. Not that and I'm not saying we have enough shirts. We don't.
I don't think you can. Like, I probably am willing to bet that our buddy Justin, he probably has the most impressive Dixon collection of anybody that I communicate.
As a matter of fact, he's handed some Dixons down to you.
Yeah, the one I have on actually. That's a total for the greater good story right there that we'll get one time. But yeah, he's probably got the most impressive Dixon collection, and the man is far from believing that which I admire the shit out of.
Oh hell yes! What I'd like to have them all. Wouldn't you like to have them all?
Oh man, surely somebody out there does.
And especially the collaboration one.
Those are some of my favorites.
Yeah, still that Snap-on one that you got is still probably my favorite.
And they've done a couple Snap-on collabs, but that one that I got my hands on that year, it's up there, dude. It is way up there. And the shovel's one of my favorite ones, though.
Yeah, it's a shovel. You can't put Harley on it, or you'll have to pay them.
Well, he's got a whole series of them out.
But you can say
the pan
shovel.
just came out.
Yeah, the pan. Now he can't say pan head, and he can't say shovel head, but he can say shovel. And he can say pan.
Came out, and I think there's a third one involved in that. I'll tell you, oh man, the Thorogood. That Thorogood collab that's probably my.
Does he have a knuckle?
I believe so. I think there is a knuckle.
Yeah.
So
I need that in my life. You know
right?
what? One thing that I wish you could do from the website is go back and look at all the ones that he's put out.
Just from point A to current.
Yeah, just to go back and look at the history.
I'm not on eBay, but are there eBay stores that people are selling these things off between each other? I'm wondering if that's happening.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially the collaboration ones.
Well, I know. I don't know this to be true on the latest one, but I know that Snap-on one that I got my hands on. I know it showed up at like 3 times retail on eBay when they first dropped it.
Yeah.
But I've been told that Dreyer doesn't like that. He doesn't like them.
No, but I think a lot of that